Josh Freeman and Lizzie Bennett performing their speech.
From this moment on, nothing is what it seems.
You're not a human being. You're a character. And filmmakers are doing everything in their power to kill you. Even now.
I just love those movies with happy endings.
This princess gets her prince, or...
The creepy old neighbor turns out to be your best friend.
Well,
this is not that kind of movie.
This is about horror movies.
But wait, don't start crying.
Pull yourself together and stop worrying because...
We'll be your guides through hell. How to Survive a Horror Movie by Seth Smith. I'll teach you how to escape the inescapable, spot horror brings of impending doom, and defeat a haunted house.
Most importantly, I'll show you how to make life miserable for the screenwriters and directors who are trying to end yours.
I suggest you stick close
Pay attention
and avoid breaking the terrorist's only commandment. Thou shalt not be stupid. You've been sucked into the terrorverse in as much as you may feel like crying or making skin marks in your tiny whities. You better get yourself together.
And right soon. Because if you don't, the boogeyman's really going to give you something to cry about. Assuming he wants to keep your eyes. Your situation requires immediate action and thus...
C-R-A-V-E-N.
Great amendment. Is it allowed for such an emergency?
It's a kind of stop, drop, and roll for horror movie victims.
A way to stay alive long enough to summon your courage and get out of immediate danger. C. Take cover. Running around in a panic is the fastest way to end up with a ship in your back. What you need right now is a temporary headquarters. A place to wipe the sweat from your brow, take a pull of the old asthma inhaler, and calculate your plan. Some of the best places to do that? Good old everyday houses. Though not ideal fortresses. Water towers, churches.
R. Conduct reconnaissance. Now that you had a moment to catch your breath, it's time to get an idea of where the enemy is and what he's up to. If you don't have the height of a church spire or water tower working for you, take a peek from the highest window in your hideout and take a look. Do you see the attackers? If you see nothing, they're probably right behind you. No, wait! Don't turn around. Nice and cool. Now, on the count of 3, I want you to cover your arms with your face and jump out of the window. Either you jump or you die. Ready? 1, 2... Just kidding, you're totally screwed.
Gathered arsenal. See a path to freedom. Now all you have to do is get your way down it. To do that, you'll need some kind of weapon. Look for a baseball bat, kitchen knife, or anything that kids aren't allowed to play with indoors. And if you're up on that water tower, actually, there are too many options with the water tower. You really should have thought of that before you climbed up there.
V. Commandeer a vehicle. You've summoned some courage, grabbed a weapon, and hopefully spotted a nearby unoccupied vehicle, and your reconnaissance. Now it's time to kick a little ass. When you reach the unoccupied vehicle, first get in. Ha! Don't bother smashing the windows. They left the car unlocked. Lock the doors, pull down the driver's sun visor. The keys will simply drop into your lap. But when you try to start the engine, it'll turn over and over again. But don't worry, it'll kick in as soon as the attacker reaches up and pounds on your window.
E. Make your... Escape. This is the easy part. Just bury the accelerator and don't look back.
And head north. In Terrorverse America, it's always better to be north of wherever you are. So put the car in D.
Point the compass to N
And get the F out of there.
The 7.
Deadly horror movie 6. First study said, doubt. There are 2 types sit and wait for that thing to pick us off one by one? No way, man, not me.
He runs out into the open yelling something like,
Come on, show your face.
and, well, you know how that ends.
Third deadly sin, independence. Have you ever seen that documentary about wildebeest? The one where it's nothing but slow motion footage of them getting torn apart by lions and crocodiles. Great, isn't it? Funny how the attackers always seem to get the ones on the outer edge of the herd. The ones that are too slow or too stupid to draw strength from their numbers. This is not a coincidence.
Fourth deadly sin, ugliness. Nobody said horror movies were fair. Fifth deadly sin, curiosity. Have you ever been in a theater when you're alone and there's a strange noise and decide to see where it's coming from?
Is that you, Patches?
If for the naked man hiding in your closet with razor blades on his fingertips, then yes, it is.
Sixth deadly sin, irresponsibility. This is an easy one. If you're supposed to be guarding the door, then guard the door. Don't wander to take a leap if you're supposed to be watching the kids.
What's a little nap gonna hurt?
A lot.
Trust me, the kids are selfless.
No, the kids are dead.
I always get the crappy job. No.
Well, because you're an idiot and you're about to prove that fact by failing miserably at the simple task you were assigned.
Seventh deadly sin, vehicular sex. Everybody knows you'll end up sex. Do it and die.
How to survive a haunted house.
Confirm that the house is haunted. Just because your zip code is 00666 doesn't mean you have to run.
Ah!
Scream every time a floorboard breaks. Even in the Terrorverse. Sometimes a strange noise is just a strange noise. On the other hand, sometimes it's a portal to a dimension of unspeakable evil.
The 10 questions.
Do the faucets or shower heads bleed?
Did the previous owners die as a result of murder or suicide?
Does furniture rearrange itself when you aren't looking?
When you reach your arm into the refrigerator, does it appear in another part of the house?
Are there Civil War era children playing in your attic?
Does the house issue verbal or written warnings?
Does the temperature suddenly plummet? Can we discuss remodeling?
Do you feel more compelled to murder your family with an axe than usual?
Constantly showing up to ask.
What happened to our cemetery? Does the house contain any candelabras? Once you confirm the haunting, leave immediately. There are 2 things you can't change in this world.
A husband who lets the dishes pile up.
And a haunted house. Both lead to nothing but frustration, fear, and eventually a gruesome death. If the test doesn't come back up positive for a haunting, get out immediately. Do not pack up your things. Do not go for one last dip in the half-finished swimming pool. Run now.
Escape on its x-axis. Now, this point is very important. If you are upstairs, do not go downstairs. If you are downstairs, do not go upstairs. Zigzag to your heart's content. Run around in circles.
Be on the alert for common haunted house trickery. You're eager to leave, but the house is just as eager to keep you around. Once it realizes you're trying to escape, it'll throw every trick in the bag at you. Like the reappearance of a dead friend or child. Once it realizes you're trying to escape, it'll recreate someone who isn't really there.
Mommy, baby boy, why are you eating me?
Countermeasure. Address the person in front of you as the house and tell it something that will set it off. Something like,
You should know, I've been sleeping in a condo. Do not go back inside. If you do manage to escape, never look back. Keep running, no matter how many screams echo through the night, or no matter how fun it might be to watch the house fold itself into a point of light, no bigger than the period at the end of this sentence. Never, ever go back. Unless it's for the dog.
so when is it safe? out new villains and killing methods,
Directors get sleeker and bloodier.
and the enemy will keep its fangs and machetes razor sharp. You'd better keep your skills